uppercut, uppercut, sonic boom! Well, hello there, humans, hippies, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and if you're lucky enough indeed to be doing it too. Welcome back to Channel. I'm Bushka. Today's video is going to be all about peak and fire, peak and open scope, scope mode, lean mode, why I have it set up the way I have it set up, and why it might influence you to actually change the way you do things. Obviously, I run a 6-finger thing on a device that's as big as a television screen, but the reason I'm doing this is I did a post the other day and it's got over 1,000 comments on what would you like to see videos on. This is one of them. I'm going to show you a hand cam for some of this just to give you some idea, some context to what's going on. I understand this is not for everyone, and I just want to give you some ideas. I want to give you some ideas on why it's important. I'm going to give you some real practical examples of what's going down. Why I think this is important for me in the whole is you just get more control. If you're using hold and you have the fingers to pull it off, then you just get more control of your player character, and that gives you more options. Doesn't mean you're going to win all the time, but I think it's going to make you a better player. Anyway, let's move on with this, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope it helps you, and, well, let's just get the bloody video started, Bushka. My control setup. You can see I'm leaning. It's hold to lean. I don't have peek and open scope enabled. I have hold to zoom. You can see that's peek and open scope, that area up the top. I have lean mode to hold, scope mode to hold, peek and fire is enabled, and I have tap fire for my bolt actions, not release. Now, imagine if you had peek and open scope enabled, okay? So let's go and enable that right now, and I'll show you an example of this. When you are leaning left and then you release it, you release the zoom altogether. You lose the scope altogether. So you have to touch it again to actually engage it again, right? And then you can go right, but as soon as you release that, boom, which sucks. I really like to wiggle and jiggle when I have to, and I don't like losing my ADS just because I release the peak. So if I have it on hold, it stays up the entire time. Here's a short clip just showcasing what I mean. This isn't great play. I'm just showing so I can lean right, pull back, still be looking over the top of the rock, and then lean left. And not once did I lose my ADS there. And that means that when you're aimed and you're zooming down sights, you're more accurate. And you should be ADSing whenever you possibly can. There you go. Now this goes doubly for sniping. I want you to imagine that you're in an open field. It's getting towards the end of the final circle, you have no cover, and so you're wiggling and jiggling while your opponent and you have a bolt action rifle like sniper fight. What you can do with this, because you don't lose your zoom in, is as you wiggle and jiggle, you keep dodging, 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 and then when you let it go, you're in the middle of the mark and bam. Now, this is something you can't do if you can't stick with the zoom at the top of the release. If you can't be zoomed in left, right, and middle without releasing your ADS, your aim down sights, then that just doesn't work. You can also peek corners like this and then get an idea on where the target is, and then bang, as soon as you get it lined up, let it go. Now, I want to talk a little bit more about I think it improves your accuracy because having hold to lean allows you to lean out without being zoomed in and then touch the zoom button. Now, sometimes it's only a split second, but it is so much more effective. So if we turn on, you can see on the right side, I'm turning on the peek and open scope, and I'm using 6 fingers here. Obviously, this isn't going to be working for everyone, and I am using a 2020 12.9-inch iPad. I know that upsets some people, but I'm a YouTuber. I use the best device I can find, and this is the best device I can find. You watch when you lean, what you're going to find is you have to adjust oftentimes to find the target. Where's the target? Where's the target? I'm looking for the top of the first target over there. That's what I want. The top of the big target there he is, right there, 10 meters. That's the one I'm going for. But if I'm coming out there blind and I just lean, here we go. We're going to do it from the left side. I'm just leaning. It's like, where's the target? There's the target. Let's do that. Whereas if I turn off that peek and open scope and I lean, I'm able to ADS it up there quickly. You can see, and you can even take a quick peek around the corner, find it, and then ADS it up there very, very quickly. You can even set this up. I'll show you an example. In fact, I'll show you 2 examples. Watch me actually practice my lean here. There he is, he's up there. I'm going to lean and I get it almost simultaneously, but it's not simultaneous. There's actually a difference between when I hit the zoom and when I hit the lean. That's the slow, that's the practice, because I've only got a 2x, so I don't have a lot of time, and he's got a good scope, and I want to make sure that works. And then we push up, and he's in the same window, and he thinks I've gone all the way to the other end. I'm just waiting, again, I make sure that the rifle is at the right level, and then I move out, zoomed in. Like, it's so obvious. Watch, I get the rifle, the reticle at the right level, there it is, and then I move out, zoomed in. There's just no error there. It's so easy to do, especially if you've got a big 8x. If you think about it, an 8x magnifies your view by 8 times. So it means that your field of view when you're looking down it is extremely focused. And that's not good if you just come around a corner. It's very difficult. Even if you're third-party peeking. Watch this, I'll third-party peek the top and I can see where it is and then just zoom, bang. Like, it's so much quicker and so much more accurate. Now we're going to talk about something else I like to do, and which has saved me and won me a lot of sniper fights, which is I will fire and I will duck nearly instantaneously once that happens. Now this, I'll do it in slow motion. You can see fire, duck. Okay, now the reason this works is because I'm using hold to scope. Fire, duck, whatever. And I'll show you some actual in-game situations where I do this. If you do this with tap to open scope on, and which just basically leaves it, on, it sucks because when you duck behind the mountain, you're going to see in a second, the bolt action reloads and then it just gives you a view of the mountain. The way I'm doing it releases the scope instantly. One, that means you have no movement penalty because you're not zoomed in, okay? And two, it allows, you can see that's when it's peaked and open, it just goes back to that. So you've got to tap the button all over again to clear it and then start doing the whole thing. And two, you can't third-party peek over the hill. Here, have a look at this. This is a game. There's a bloke up there in the arena. I'm with Swiss Cheezel. There's me doing the whole thing I was talking about before, the jiggling of the scope. It comes back. I get behind some cover, and you're going to see me line the shot up, and he fires and I fire. Okay, that's me trying to get his attention, so he looks out the window. Obviously, I'm not shooting at the hill. Here he is. He's up there somewhere. There he goes. Now, watch this. We both fire, but see me duck as soon as that happens, and then he comes downstairs. And I'll be absolutely blunt. This is even quicker, much quicker. The first one was very slow. It was more of an afterthought. He's going to peek one of these windows. And that was too fast, right? And this is just right. It makes it very hard for you to be hit, particularly with the way hill glitching works. And by hill glitching, I mean that when the terrain doesn't render all the way up to the actual edge of its physical presence. I mean, this is another example, just one I quickly cut out. You'll see as soon as I take this shot, I just duck straight away. Again, it just becomes a natural instinct. Watch these 3 shots here. And they're all, this is what I'm talking about. You start getting this to the point where it's very, very quick. These 3 clips here. And I mean, the first one here is, I'll show you. This is actually quite interesting. And I'm not at all talking about myself as some kind of groundbreaking sniper here, but if you see where the reticle is, okay, so that is me finding the target without zooming down scope, then quickly tapping the zoom button, holding it in, and then tapping the fire button. And because it's very, very easy to do this. You don't have to tap and then untap and everything like that. You just have to let it happen. And you will get better at it. Like, this is another one, another quick scope, and then headshot, and they're very, very fast when they're happening. And this is on the lean. Watch, the reticle will track the target out. I see where they are first, lean and drag scope up, release for the headshot, and then I just keep the reticle at the same kind of level, wait for the reload, 2 fingers, lean and zoom at the same time, and there he is. He's the same level. Quick adjustment, very, very easy. I find that being able to do this makes life so much simpler. Now, I didn't... none of the examples are going to be perfect. I didn't muck around too long looking for perfect examples of this. I just wanted to talk you through and explain exactly why I do what I do, and I have my setup the way I have my setup. I love the extra control, like leaning out there just a little bit, tracking the target without actually physically needing to is cool. you got to get good at aiming too. Like, you got to be able to use 2Xs and 3Xs these days because scopes are hard to find, and it's legitimately possible to use 2s and 3s. Like, you can see in a lot of these clips, I'm using low-end scopes and getting very good results with them, getting headshots and getting strong body shots with big guns. And that's because you practice, and this all makes you more accurate. The ability to find the target first and then zoom in until it becomes seamless, till it almost looks like you're pressing the button at the same time, but you're not. Again, you've got to get your sensitivity set up. I mean, I can't emphasize that enough. You've got to get your sensitivity right. But this is another step for me along the road to improving my gameplay, and it's something I've worked on. It might not work for you, and obviously a lot of people play on very small devices where they don't have the kind of ability to do this, but for me, it's something that I'm putting into my gameplay, and I'm hopeful it will be something I can make the most of in the future. Love your work, boys and girls. Thank you so much for watching. Look after yourselves. As always, stay safe in the battlefield. Please subscribe. Please like the videos. Little bit of a bonus moment here. I don't know why. I think this guy must have seen my name in the kill feed and recognized the YouTube channel, and he just literally steps out from down the bottom there, no helmet on, no gun drawn, and looks at me, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to headshot you. I don't know why he did that. Ah, well. Bye for now.